Alright, so good day. So today we're going to talk about this pack. This is the Gossamer Gear G4-20. So we'll run through some quick specs about this bag, you know, all its usable features, and we'll answer questions of whether or not it's my favorite pack, whether it's not it's tough enough for the Australian bush. So let's see how we go. So the quick specs on this bag, I'll try and pop them up on the screen also, but you know, it is a 42 litre frameless bag, and what that is internal volume of 30 litres and an external volume in the stuff pockets of 12 litres. So it does come in 3 different sizes, and so it's a matter of measuring up your back length, and they'll actually have the measurements of what the recommended fit is on the Gossamer Gear website. It's made from 70 and 100D aerobic nylon, and comes in at 700 grams, so it's pretty lightweight bag. All right, so the main features on this bag: big front stuff pocket, asymmetrical side pockets, so one big deep one small one. It's angled cut so you can actually reach a water bottle if you're using a water bottle in there. You've got a small zip pocket on the front here, which is pretty handy for all your knickknacks and things like that. Roll top closure with a reasonable length storm throat, so you can get a bit of overflow capacity in here if you like, and you can leave behind the little anchors here and just clip it together at the top. We do have, you know, hip belt pockets and a removable sit pad, which is quite a nice feature. It comes in and out pretty easily. It's a closed cell foam. This one, it does come with some options. You can choose different sit pads for this pack, and how it slots in there, it's actually pretty easy to use when you're on the trail. I think it's pretty evident that a lot of thought has gone into this bag, and the design of it comes from lots of experience in this space. Like, everything's really well thought out, and you know, it's minimalist, but everything here has a function, which is really good. Yeah, that actually definitely a lot of thought got into this bag, and not a lot I would change about it. It's which is nice. You can't say that about all the things. There are some little anchor points in here. You can add additional bungees. You can add, you know, straps for hooking on trekking poles, things like that. You do have some side compression straps here, but you know, I don't know if you really use them that much on a bag this size. Alrighty, so the pros, and there are lots of them. This is a well thought out bag. The front stuff pocket is massive, really useful. You've got a great little pocket here, which I find so handy for keeping all my little knickknacks in. It's really easy to get to. I quite like the asymmetric side pockets, so I do often put a tarp or a shelter in here, which is quite nice. You know, decent enough water bottle pocket on the other side if you're using one, and it's angle cut so you can actually reach it while the pack's still on your back. I do really like the design of this sit pad and how easy it is to pull it in and out of the bag. I use that quite a lot, and it's also nice because it is a frameless bag, so you do have to pay, you know, a bit more attention to how you pack it, but you know, this offers a little bit more structure, or optional structure, I guess, as to whether or not you want to take it. So the cons, and there is a couple. I find this little single strap closure over the top here is not that handy if you're trying to store something on top of your pad. You kind of really need 2 anchor points to make that either a V or a Y-shaped type closure, so you can actually give a little bit of stability to whatever you put there. In saying that, I mean, the way this pack's designed, that actually may not work, so could be the reason why they've gone with this option. There is also the sit pad, which we mentioned earlier, and whilst I love it, it is closed cell foam, this version, so it means it's quite sweaty, doesn't really absorb much moisture, so it means your back's quite hot. plus side of that is that when you sit on it, yeah, you can sit in the wet, the snow, the whatever you like, and you're pretty much going to stay dry when you sit on it, which is great. You can get a different type of sit pad that fits in here, and it's more breathable, it's a bit more mesh, and it's a bit more spongy, and which is nice. But you've got to bear in mind, if you're hiking in the heat, that, you know, when you perspire, the other type of sit pad will soak up all that moisture, and so what you'll find is that when you go and try and use it as a sit pad, you're effectively just sitting on a sponge of back sweat. So, you know, not the most ideal experience, I guess. Yeah. The other thing with this bag is that, you know, the stretch pocket's great, but the material's not that, it's not that strong. It's really easy to snag on stuff. I've definitely put multiple holes in this thing everywhere, and I've stitched some up. As for the actual material of the bag, the Robic nylon, it's great that it's lightweight, but I do a lot of off-track walking, and I feel like I nearly put a new hole in this bag every trip. I've got patches all over it. I've had bits re-stitched in it everywhere. Lots of stick-on patches, things like that. So great for through hikes, anywhere where trails are well maintained and clear. The off-track stuff, it's maybe not the ideal material for that usage. So, is this my favorite pack? At this point in time, I'd probably have to say yes. I really enjoy using this pack. I actually look forward to the trips where I take it out on. I've put a lot of Ks on this now, and I just find every feature to be well thought out and very usable. So, you know, you're not, when you're on a trip, you're not kind of going like, oh, I wish this bag did this, or I wish this bag did that. It actually just seems to tick all those boxes. So at this point in time, absolutely my favorite. Is this bag tough enough for the Australian bush? If you do a lot of off-track hiking, you know, I've got to say no. Like, we have lots of spiky, prickly, you know, just all kinds of unpleasant bush that we hike through. And if you're hiking off-track, you will tear this bag to shreds. Like, guarantee you that you will at some point be putting patches on it, like more than one. Or restitching things, stuff like that. So yeah, so whilst it's great for some purposes, if, you know, you're after a bag for off-track walking, you know, this may not be the right choice. So final thoughts, would I recommend this bag? Yeah, I would, but I think like all gear, it comes down to what the end usage is, and it's a matter of, you know, assessing yourself, the amount of off-track walking you do, the amount of walking you're doing on clear trails, and what's important to yourself, whether it's the weight and functionality of it or whether it's the durability of it. So it's, yeah, I would definitely recommend this pack for certain applications, but, and it is my favorite pack, but I think, yeah, I don't take it on every trip. And I definitely factor in the amount of bush bashing and off-track walking I'm going to be doing when I'm deciding what pack I'm going to take. Well, I hope you found some of that information useful. I tried to throw some things on there that you won't necessarily find on the website, and just based off my personal experience. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, hit like and hit subscribe. Thanks. Ciao.